on the air. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be,
I have that same passion. Like when I was little, my friend's mom would bring us to school and she would have the same station on every day.
Yep.
So the same thing, like it gets ingrained in your head. And you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
my God, I can do that. Witty banter.
Oh, yeah.
I got that.
Yeah. Well, and look where we are now.
Welcome to Maker Conversations with Tiff Marchand. Today on the show, we have Ben from Conderosa Creations, and then we have a very special Patreon episode available now. If you want to head over there and sign up, it's patreon.com/makerconversations. And on that Patreon special, we get to see Ben's other half. One would say, perhaps better half, Debbie from Conderosa Creations. So check that out. We also have a surprise guest, which if you're following the Instagram page, you already know who it is. But let's just say Ben's other half is also on the show today. So check out Ben. He is an amazing dude. He is so talented and has a lot of different passions. I was super excited to get him on the show, have him do his first recording as a guest and not a host. So let's get on with the show.
Well, thank you for being my first guest. I really
appreciate
it.
I'm thrilled. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm the first.
I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And
thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
I'm repping Lee. Yep.
Repping Lee.
I'm repping Lee, and we've been repping Lee a lot lately. He's just so talented. He's so talented.
Say that. He is, yeah.
Yeah. He's just. We're talking about Lee from Regal Street.
I was just gonna say, yeah, we got to call his name out.
Yeah. It was funny on our podcast the other day. We were shouting out people, and he was one of the people we were shouting out, and I was just like, I fucking for the life of me. So we're cursing on this podcast, right?
Oh yes, no. Everything I do will be swears and sexual innuendos. Let's go.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
But we were shouting out Lee, and I was like, Lee. I was like, God, what the fuck is his last name? I never think of his.
Street.
You know what I mean? I never thought of his last name, and then I realized that I went and researched it, and so I'll always remember it because it's it's Omen. But I'll just remember it as, oh man, you know what I mean? Oh man. So anyways, yeah. Reppin' Lee. Yeah. He's the man.
He's pretty great. Well, you were talking about your podcast. I know you guys just started, but do you want to talk about that now? And then we'll back into who you are and whatever, but.
Oh, I mean, sure. That's fine. Yeah. So myself and Luke from Luke in the Garage, Luke Gelman, we started this podcast called the Jointery Podcast, and people who are confused, it's not the Joinery Podcast, it's the Jointery Podcast, Jointery. And we started it. We're on we just dropped episode 9, to use the lingo. We dropped episode 9 on Friday, this last Friday. And so we just recorded episode 10 yesterday, and it's just two dads, talking about their families, their, work lives and shops, and trying to balance that and, bring it all together. And it's basically what it is. And it's fun. It's just a lot of fun, dude. And me and Luke talk, how it came about is like, we talk every day for hours at a time. And I was just always laughing my ass off, and same with him, back and forth. And we were just like, dude, we should just be recording this and putting this out, because it's just, we think it's, I mean, I don't know. Luckily people seem to think it's funny also, but it's just a lot of fun.
No, I've listened to it already, and it is. I told you my one criticism, if you guys listen, just get past that whole minute and a half of quiet time.
Oh, in that first episode or the second episode or something?
I think it was the first one. And he's like, there's something at my door. And then you hear Luke walk away.
Yeah, it's the one with all the interruptions is what it's called. And his kids were all over him because they were home for I think the school was shut down for a snow day or a COVID thing or whatever it was. I forget exactly what it was, but that was. Get past if you I edited that one, and I thought that I had turned up the volume enough on it so you guys could actually hear them, but apparently it didn't come over that well.
I
So,
bet you it was funny, wasn't it? Like his interactions with his kids, because it's
oh, they're the
always great.
best.
Yeah.
They're the
Yeah.
best. I edited out the one that happened this week because his kids were just too far away from the mic, so you couldn't hear him talking.
Yeah.
So if I told him, I was like, look, if they come in, you got to invite them up to the mic so they can actually,
Yeah, actually get
people can
something
actually
there.
hear them. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
people love they want to hear it. They want to hear that interaction
Yeah.
with the kid. But if they're not on the mic, it's kind of pointless. So,
You have
but yeah,
a history of like broadcasting, not so much podcasting, but like you've been in the broadcast world like a good portion of your life, haven't you?
yeah. So right out of high school, I went to college at Fullerton JC in the junior college, and they had a radio program. And I was really interested in that, so I took one semester of radio, and after that, I kind of moved out of my parents' house and was living on my own, and I couldn't really balance school and work full time at the same time, so I kind of stopped going to school. And but I took that radio class, and it kind of stuck with me forever, and I just always loved radio and wanted to work in it. And then kind of fast forward years and years and years after countless jobs and playing in bands and music and doing all this stuff, I finally decided I'm going to go to broadcasting school. And so this is like 2000. So I've been doing it. I'm in my current job for 6 years, so 10 years. So like 2010, 2011, I went to
That's
broadcasting
awesome.
school, and I finished that, and then I got a job at ESPN in LA as a marketing promotions assistant.
Okay.
So like the people who go out and annoy
Go
the
to
crap
the-
out of you and
yeah,
hand
at
you
the
free
grocery
stuff.
store.
Yes.
Spin the wheel.
Exactly. I was one of those guys. I got really, really good at putting a pop-up up and taking that thing down. Oh man, I could do that so quick. So I did that, and then I eventually worked my way into board opting, running the boards,
Okay.
at the
Yeah.
radio station. And then I worked my way into producing, and then I did producing on the weekends. And then during the week, I was filling in producing for the bigger shows. And eventually there was just no room for another full-time producer there at that station. And I was basically next in line. And but the program director just wouldn't give me the nod, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was being headhunted by another radio station in LA to come produce one of their big shows.
Mhm.
And so I gave them one last chance to give me anything at ESPN, and they were like, sorry, we can't. So I left after like 6 years of working there and went to the other station in LA and did that for almost a year. But the drive it was even farther into LA. It was in Burbank, so that's like a hour and a half drive from me, and it was like back and forth in a car for 3 hours a day. It was just killing me. And so I eventually found the job I'm doing currently, which is a remote broadcast engineer, so for sports and radio and
That's
stuff like
cool.
that. So yeah, and I've been doing that for 6 years. So yeah, to sum that all up, yes, I've been doing this for quite some time. And
I like that you found like you've had the passion your whole life, and like I know you're like your life was too crazy and you couldn't do it, but like you had the drive to go back and do it again. Like that's awesome.
yeah, I've always been like infatuated with radio, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's probably because I spent so much time in the car as a kid with my parents, and the stations were like the same stations all the time. And like I just kind of got so like I would sing the jingles, you know what I mean? Like I
Yep.
knew all the jingles and all the intros and outros and all the the voices of the different DJs, and like I was just like super into it. And
I totally get that.
yeah. So it just, I don't know, just kind of always stuck with me, and I wanted to be on the air. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be,
I have that same passion. Like when I was little, my friend's mom would bring us to school, and she would have the same station on every day.
Yep.
So the same thing, like it gets ingrained in your head, and you're
Oh,
like, oh
yeah.
my god, I can do that.
Oh,
Witty
dude.
banter,
Oh,
I
yeah.
got that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and look where we are now.
Yeah, exactly. I found the way that would work the easiest for me, and that's just like hanging out at night when the kids are ready to go to bed, and
Yeah.
come chill and hang out. With us
Oh
people,
man,
you know?
I so badly wanted to be Christian Slater from Pump Up the Volume.
Oh yes.
Do you remember that movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, when he started that pirate radio station in his basement or whatever it was, like
But he
in
has
high
a way
school.
of talking too, and it like, you know, he just so much passion in his voice that whatever he
Talk-
says, you're like, wow.
Talk hard, man.
Yes.
That was the line. Talk hard.
Yep.
And it was, yeah. So that was, you know, that was always a big passion of mine, and so I, you know, I guess I found my way back to it, like you said, and you know, but music was also a big passion of mine. So I think it's just being, you know, in front of a crowd or being on a microphone or being, you know, just like performing or, you know, like attention whore. I don't know, whatever you want to label it. I don't know how you want to label
No,
it.
you like to entertain. You want to see
Yeah.
people's reactions when you do stuff. I've told the tale before when I was little at like parties, like say it's Christmas and we're at a family's house. I would
Yep.
sit there and sing the blues and like it'd always
Yeah.
be like something
Dun, dun,
disgusting.
dun,
Yes.
dun.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. And then it would always be like, it always started off, I was picking my nose, dun, 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 and it started to bleed. Like it would be,
No.
like I would just say the most ridiculous things just to watch people's reactions. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So-
That's so
and,
funny, man.
mhm.
Yeah, I don't really have a lot of like memories of me like doing like performances and stuff like that when I was a kid. It wasn't so much I wanted to be like, you know, like I don't know. I guess I found it more like,
As you got older.
yeah, and I kind of was torn too because I was always into music so much too that I kind of figured like I always like thought maybe I would be the leader of a big band, you know what I mean? Like I'd be the conductor guy out in front of like it was always like obviously it was always me like, you know, in the spotlight doing something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I just which is funny, you know, because I didn't go into acting. I didn't go into, you know, anything in that area, you know what I mean? It wasn't like I really wanted to be like out in front of people as much, like face to face with people, but like on a microphone, it never bothered me. Behind my drum set, it never bothered me. That was something I could just do and stuff. So I don't know, just it you know, just it's interesting.
Well,
Just
I'm glad you started the podcast too, because that's like your whole side thing, you know, like you've got your work, you've got your woodworking, and then you've got your side fun. It's a nice little piece just for you.
yeah, thanks. Debbie always makes fun of me. She's like, you know, started woodworking. She teases me now. She's like, excuse me. You started woodworking. We bought all these tools just so you could start a podcast.
Yeah.
Like that.
Listen, Debbie, I needed an angle. Did we talk about who's Debbie? For
Oh,
all
sorry.
those who don't know.
Debbie is my wife, my lovely wife, who I started this whole Conderosa Creations business with 2 years ago. So I'll quickly run through that. So me and Debbie have been together for 20 years, like together 20 years. We've been married for 12. Little long courtship there, 8 years.
I was gonna say it took a while to pop that question, huh?
You know, I just wanted to make sure. You know what I mean? I really, really wanted to make sure. And so no, that's funny. Yeah, so we in November of 2019, she had been working at a company for like 8 years. She's an accountant. So she had been
Okay.
working there for like 8 years, 7 years, maybe something like that. They downsized and laid her off. So in 19, yeah, so like November, December of 19, right? So then right around then, excuse me, right around then, I was still working part-time, doing what I was doing, like doing the radio stuff, doing the, you know, the broadcasting, the remote broadcasting stuff. But we weren't woodworking. We weren't doing anything like that. Our garage was a typical garage. It had 2 lazy boys and a couch in front of a TV, and then, you know, kids' toys. And I had one workbench in the corner that was already here when we moved in. And I had one tool, the miter saw that I have. I'm like blanking on the name. The miter saw I have was my
Hi, I'm Ben,
my
and I use power tools.
yeah, exactly. The miter saw I have was her father's, so I wasn't even mine. Like I borrowed it from him, so that was in our garage. And when she got laid off, she got really like depressed and
Oh
was
yeah, it's tough.
struggling to find anything either. Like for the first month after she got laid off, she couldn't find anything. And one night I was just basically like, hey, let's, I'm crafty, you're crafty. She paints. She's a amazing painter.
I can see that. I'm looking at your early stuff right now.
Yeah, thank you. I thank you for her, not me, because I did none of the
You're just
painting.
proud of her. You're proud of her.
Yeah, exactly. But she, I was like, look, let's make something. Like I have some wood here, I have a few tools. We have paint. And so we kind of thought like
paint.
Yeah, we have paint, and and it was right around Christmas, so we thought, let's make like some sort of Christmas sign, right? Maybe we can sell it to some friends and family or whatever. So we made this Santa Claus. That was the very first thing we made. So it's like a 3 feet by 6 inches wide long piece of pine, and she basically just painted Santa Claus's face, or kind of like the body and then the face, and then I did a hat
outside the doors, right? Like
it's for like leaning outside your front door or next to your fireplace or something like that. And then she painted ho 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 on it, and we made one. And one of our friends came by just to hang out one night, and she saw that we were doing that, and she was like, you made that? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, I love it. She's like, I want 3 of them. And we were like, really? She's like, yeah, I want to give them as gifts for my family for Christmas. So we busted out 3 of them. And then from there, it kind of like snowballed. Like once other people saw them, they started asking. And then she made a snowman, and that was even more popular than the Santa Claus. So then she started making, like, we got 6 orders right away for like the snowman. And then I, was like, wait a second, like this is something, what I mean? Like we're actually selling these, and and maybe we can do something. And so
it's an awesome feeling.
Slowly but surely we started, her dad was a woodworker for 40 years, and then he passed away. And when he passed away, he had a shop in his garage that was full of tools. Initially, her mom went and sold like a lot of them. I wasn't, because I wasn't.
Yeah, you weren't into it at that time.
I wasn't into it at the time.
I get it. That's how shit happens all the time. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And now we like kick ourselves because he had so many tools that I would like have died. Luckily I had the miter saw here, so she didn't sell that. He had a planer, and luckily that's like she didn't go to like other woodworkers. That was the thing. She had garage sales. Yeah. And so like just random people were buying these tools that were like that she was fucking just giving them away, Tiffany. Like just whatever.
No, I get it. You know how you go to those people's houses, everything's like $10 because just take it away.
Yeah, exactly. And so eventually she had a planer, the planer I have now currently, and that was on a rolling cart up against the wall. And I thought, okay, look, you're making we can make these signs, but like what's the next thing we can make? And so I thought, well, I never made a cutting board, but I have the tools to make a cutting board. You know what I mean? I have everything. So I just started YouTubing and learning, and which is like everybody
YouTube
else.
Is wonderful. No, it's
well, I mean, that's in 2000 at that time, and that was the rush, right? The woodworking rush. Like everybody at the beginning of COVID, like decided we're going to be woodworkers. You know what I mean? I mean, there was a lot of people, don't get me wrong, there were a lot of people that were already doing it beforehand, but there was an influx. Yeah. I mean, but there was an influx.
There was a huge influx
of people.
And that's when I feel like the maker world exploded though, too. Like, because we were all like the people who like been doing it for a while, like myself, we were all there, but we never really talked to each other that much. And then like, the more new people that came on, they're asking us questions. So then we start sharing more, and then everybody just starts sharing, and there you go. A community starts building off of that.
Yeah, because crazy. yeah, when I talked to Trevor from Madeira Design, he
Mhm.
tells me, because he's been on Instagram, I guess, for like 6 years.
Yeah.
So like he's like, dude, I remember coming on Instagram like 6 years ago, and there was no woodworking community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was
Nope.
like random people. You would see like random. You would search woodworking and see like a handful of people.
You'd
Now
see
it's like,
Brad from Fix This Build That. You'd
yeah,
see like,
exactly.
your oh God, I'm blanking now. I had I had the name.
Yeah,
Oh, Walker's Woodwork. Like there was like
yeah,
a few veterans, we'll call them now, which is funny to say.
yeah.
It's
It's
like
so
6
funny,
years or
right?
more, but
Yeah.
like there was a few folks on there. Like when I was doing it, I was on Facebook. I didn't even think that Instagram
Hmm.
was a place to share woodwork.
Hmm.
And then it's like, surprise.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's
It
a
was
lot of them out
crazy.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy and when we first once we started doing stuff, I was like, oh, well, we should get on social media, because that's
Mm-hmm.
like where we're gonna maybe be able to sell more of this stuff, Facebook to our family and
Yep.
friends. And
Yep.
then I jumped on Instagram, and then all of a sudden, like when we got on Instagram in March or whenever, I don't remember when exactly our first post was, like, of 2020.
I mean, I
uh,
can tell you if you'd
yeah, I know
like.
you can. I figured you had it right in front of you.
November
um
27th, 2019.
Okay, so we did post right at oh wow, that was
The
before
Santas,
I
like
thought.
right when you started, it looks like. I mean, at least it could have been one of the many Santas that you were making at the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Well, I didn't realize I was so ahead of the game. I thought we waited until
no,
I for some reason I thought
you
we
were
waited.
before the COVID boom. Before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look, I made it before.
Yeah.
Woo! I'm an OG, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Just on the cusp. But
Oh,
no,
that's
that's
too funny.
cool.
That is too funny.
That's a great way to get started. It's just like through depression. I feel like a lot of us do. Like that's my story too. Like I was doing this. I've been selling
Mhm,
my art since I was a
mhm.
kid. But like, that sounds so pretentious. I've been selling my
No,
art since I was a child.
no, no.
But
But
like,
you had parents in the game, though.
yes. Yeah. So
You know
like
what
I
I
was
mean?
helping with them with their art. I was going to
Yeah,
craft fairs, selling stuff. I was I was selling spin art to people, like not my art, but like having them do it. And then I
yeah.
was teaching them how to do it, like since I was a child. But there was none of this fun community. Like it was just everybody's
Hmm.
independent. Nobody
Hmm.
tells anybody their secrets because you don't want anybody stealing your ideas.
Yeah.
It was a different world. But it's cool, I think, finding people who go out there and like start things, like I said, through depression. And for me, it
Hmm.
was when I had my kids and having postpartum and
Hmm. Hmm.
needing to escape. Like, so like depression, I feel brings on the creativity and it can pull you out of it. Like art is therapy.
Oh no, definitely. And dude, like, I mean, I wish Debbie was here to talk more about like the actual feeling
She
and
she
what
can
she.
come join us if she's around, if she
Well,
wants.
she's not currently home, but if she
Oh, okay.
came home, she could. But the because I do my best to. She deals with that, way more, and
Mhm.
anxiety and all this stuff that I don't necessarily personally deal with.
Yep.
But I try to, and it's hard for me to even understand or you know what I mean, because
Yeah.
I can't put myself
Yeah.
in the way she's feeling. I mean, I do my best to empathize and understand and what I can, but I can see it though, and I just thought, look, she needed something to at that time she needed something to change her focus.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And
Art.
yeah, art was something that and that's the thing, is like, dude, before I met her, in high school and stuff like that, she was like super, super artistic, right? Like,
Yeah.
our painting all the time. And then she did pottery and
Oh, I love pottery. Huh?
what's the word for that? Ceramic stuff. She
Yep.
made a bunch of
Ceramics.
ceramics
Yep.
and stuff like that. And so like I just knew that like maybe if we got back to that, you know what I mean, that might help, get her, and I, done construction, like my whole, growing up, like I worked with my dad doing stuff. And then,
Oh, that's
you
cool.
know, and then me and my brother worked together doing tile and kitchen and bathroom remodels and
Did your
stuff like
dad
that.
have a place? Like, was he a construction?
No, but just growing up, we did everything at home. Like we did, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
our
Yep.
whole,
Same here. Yep.
he wanted to put in a whole new entry or walkway with bricks and brick, planters, and we did a whole room addition on the back of our
Oh,
house,
that's
and
awesome.
we were out there like doing all the stuff, and he had contractors, but he insisted on us doing like a lot of
The
I crawled
majority, yep.
yeah, I was underneath that house. Yeah, I was the littlest kid at the time, so I was like, grab this wire and take it across to the other side, and yeah, no, so
You had the confidence that you could do
doing
stuff
that,
like
knew,
that.
yes,
Yeah.
knowing that I had the ability, even not in fine woodworking by any means, I had
Yep.
never done anything like that, but just the ability to felt comfortable with tools, working with tools and stuff like that. So I was just like, look, I can do this. You're super, crafty and good at stuff. Let's just do it, and she was like, let's do it. And which was awesome, because there was a part of me that was worried that she would, push that away, even with how
Yeah.
she was feeling at that time.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But I'm glad she didn't, because it totally spawned, what we have created over the last 2 years, and it's been awesome.
I'm seeing like this crazy shift in your craftsmanship. Like I can see like you guys are doing signs. Then all of a sudden you get a branding iron.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then it's like, well, now I've got to make something super worthy of this branding iron. And then you start
Yeah.
busting out all these awesome boards.
Yeah, like I said, when I got to that point, because we made a bunch of signs, like a bunch of, and
A ton.
we were just cutting up, a bunch of scrap wood, and like thinking back now, like we made signs out of like, all a bunch of birch and like a bunch of nice wood that I was just fucking taking. It was just out of her dad's
Chop it, go.
garage that I didn't know anything, dude. I mean, I knew basic stuff, but I didn't know, so I'm just fucking cutting shit up and making little painting these little signs and stuff like that. And or Debbie's painting them, and
No, I know what you mean. But yeah.
Once I brought the planer here, it was like, okay, now I feel like I have a tool that I can use. And then I got the table saw. You know what I mean? Like, and then it was like on, you know what I mean? It was like, okay, now I have a table saw and I have a planer. I have no excuses.
Yeah, you can make boards. Like,
I can make things, you know what I mean? Let's fucking do this. And so I just started doing it. And dude, honestly, like my friends, like big props to my best friends, my group of friends around me, like outside of the community, like these are like my old school friends, like my friends
said
from
your
like
real friends, but you
no, not my real friends, but like my friends. Yeah, I mean, IRL friends, you know what I mean? Dude, they were the first ones to buy like my first 7-8 boards that then I used that money to then buy more wood and buy, tools that help me, progress even more. You know what I mean? Like it was really cool, man. It was like, honestly, like I owe them, like I to this day, I told Debbie, those first 7 people, I'm going to now, like, eventually, I haven't done it yet, but I have, in my head, I'm going to make them all replacement boards.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Now that I've learned to do
the give back to thank them for the support in the beginning. That's beautiful.
Yeah. And I've told my first 2 friends that bought boards from me, I didn't even know about, and this is embarrassing, but I'm going to say it anyways, because who cares?
Exactly.
I didn't even know about water popping.
Oh yes, to raise the grain.
When I started making a cutting board, the first 2 cutting boards I gave to, I was complete.
I've never even made a cutting board, and I know.
Well, it shows you, man.
I watch a lot of Instagram videos.
Yeah. But yeah, I was so in a rush and hungry to just produce something we were struggling by the way, right? Financially at that point, we were struggling because I was only working part-time. She had lost her job. And then in March of 2020, all of my work went away.
Oh
yeah. Something happened. Something called COVID happened. And all my industry work went away. So we were really struggling. So it was like, I just need to fucking make something and sell it. You know what I mean? Like we need to bring some money in. So I was just like rushing, and that's not necessarily good, but at the time,
no, that's how I started. Well, like when I got really into the woodworking and with the kids, it was like, okay, these kids are crazy expensive. Like, I didn't know like what was coming in my future with like autism and all that stuff. Like, I was like, holy shit, I need some money. So that's why we were doing the craft show circus.
Yep.
You make to what's gonna sell. Like
Yep.
it may not have your heart, but it's gonna sell.
Yeah. Or you might not be 100% ready to be selling.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But
There is that stage.
but you need to sell something to bring in some money. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't ready. I shouldn't have been selling those yet. You know, looking back at them now, I mean, they're fine. Like I went to my friend's house who was moving out of state. He was one of the first persons to buy. I went into his house last weekend, and he still has that board sitting on his countertop, and it's fine. You know, it's not. It's fine. You know what I mean? It's still in good shape. It's not anything like that I would make now. You know what I mean? Like
that's
the
how
quality.
You have to start. That's how we start. Like,
and it still had my old. It was before I had my branding iron, so I would hand wrote it with a wood burning tool.
Yeah.
Oh, and it looks so bad.
But you know, that's a lot of passion, because like that takes a while.
Yeah.
I was just slapping stickers on the back. That's what I was doing. And then we'd be at shows, and then a sticker would fall off, and I'd be like, He's like, no.
quickly, get another sticker.
Yeah, exactly. Slap another one on it. I didn't know that. We talk on Clubhouse all the time.
Yeah.
That's how I met you.
Yep.
So I didn't know you had a brother that woodwork too. And I'm on your page. It's May 22nd, 2020. And you made your first mallet. And it's not like you just made any old mallet. It's like bird's eye maple, African ebony, and ash. And it's like this crazy.
That's his.
Oh, that's his? Oh,
that's his. Mine was.
I was really impressed with his. Yours is
dude. We both made our own mallets. The first, those are
yours is the mahogany, maple, and purple heart.
Yes, mine's the boring one.
It's still really pretty, but his, my God,
no, I know, dude. So he challenged me to a mallet build off, and we had never made mallets before, and he had knocked
it out of the park.
Yeah, he did. He killed it. So his he had all this exotic wood, right? That like he has been holding on to forever. And so I know it's gorgeous, dude. He killed it. I have no problem like admitting that.
That's great though. So he had all this wood that he was hoarding, and
he had this wood that I secretly think that's why he challenged me to a mallet building contest, because he's like, I have this fancy wood, you know what I mean?
If it wasn't so like, we'll say it's like that spalted look, you know, if it didn't have all that texture and stuff, it wouldn't be as like, oh my God, but it has it. So you just keep looking at it. Well,
no, I know. He's very talented, dude. He is. He doesn't do as much. He doesn't do like, he's not out there trying to sell as much stuff as he was at one point. Now he just does it for himself and just for fun. And he just got a lathe and he's turning stuff. Awesome. Shout out to Conroy Builds. That's his tag. Go out and check him out. He's out there in Michigan doing his thing.
I did just go peep at him, and you guys look very alike.
Yeah, he's my older brother. So he's my older, bigger brother. He's 6'5", and he's just he's a giant. And so imagine my whole life I've been looking up to him. Literally and figuratively. So
he's like, yep.
Yeah.
I like how the kids come in the shop every once in a while too. Do you like being out there and hanging out with you guys?
Yeah, I love it. They're both old enough now where I feel comfortable with them being out here, 6 and 8, and they both have their own aprons, so you know, and then they love it. We just had a paint day the other day out here where we just, you know, I cut out a little unicorn for Penny, and Frankie did a sword.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, they love it. They, you know, Penny just told me the other day she wants to be out here helping more, and I was like, dude, I'm all about it. Come on out whenever you're ready. You know what I mean? Like, I got boards to stand. I got things you can oil. You know what I mean? There's always floors that can be vacuumed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of stuff out here for you to do.
I feel the same way. Like, I'm redoing this room next week.
Oh yeah.
So when the laser gets here, I want to like show my husband how to use it, get the kids using it. So that way, like, I don't even have to touch it. I just want to design stuff and let them use it. It's like, go kids, go.
I think it's cool too. Like I have the same thing. I have the laser, and I want to get Penny, learning how to use it, the Cricut, any other technology stuff, the saws.
Yeah, they can stay away from those. I mean,
I'm not necessarily ready for them to use the saws yet, but
Mhm.
like the technology stuff, and I think about the advantage our kids as maker families have
Yep.
in that sense. Like, and I was telling Luke, I was talking to Luke about it the other day, like his kids are going to grow up with a dad who's got a CNC, a 3D printer, and, a garage full of tools. Like same with my kid. I mean, I don't have a CNC or 3D printer, but I got the lasers and all the tools and, like
Yeah.
same with you. Like our kids
Yeah.
are growing up with such like an advantage in that area of like, if they're interested in it, if they
Right.
want to take advantage of it, like it's fucking cool. Like I didn't grow up with like, I mean, we had a garage and we had, my dad had tools and stuff, but he worked all the time. So like the times that he was home with us on the weekends, we were always doing projects and stuff, which was
Mhm.
cool. But not in the same way as like, it wasn't like a full-time kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like where
Yeah.
our kids can like walk out into our shops and take full advantage of, a fucking amazing skill that you can learn. And, it's fucking, I think it's awesome.
I think so too. I agree. It's so I was raised in that environment where like they were doing the arts and the crafts to sell and stuff like that, but also
See, that's awesome.
my dad had a full-time job as well though. So like
Oh,
it
wow.
was also on the weekends, I was in the same predicament as you, like the grunt worker, because you're the kid.
Yeah,
Exactly. You learn to
exactly.
do all that stuff. So like you got to go chop some trees down, You got to do this. Like I'd be the one pulling the rope, like, let's go.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But like it's really fun being raised in an environment where you're taught how to do things and you're self-sufficient, which is something that a lot of kids don't get. And I think it's cool because I bet your kids like talk about it too at school. Because I know my son came home and he goes, "Mom, guess what? You're the only mom who like does woodworking and stuff." He's like,
that's so awesome.
That's pretty cool. And I was like,
it is.
I go, you're right, bud. That is pretty cool.
Totally, dude. Yeah, my kids definitely. Penny loves to talk about it and tell people about it, and she's super proud of us, me and Debbie. And like for a while, up until just like a couple weeks ago, it was when she grows up, she's gonna live here and work in my shop with me. I mean, that's like that's her dream. You know what I mean?
Cute.
I lost out to doggies and kitties. She wants to be a vet now. So what are you gonna do?
We're gonna have to hook up our kids because like my son wants to work in a zoo. He wants to own a zoo. So
oh dude,
yeah,
that'd be perfect.
A great match.
Well, yeah, how old is he?
He's 6. Well,
so she's a little older. It's fine. It's
they need the older woman because it brings their maturity level up.
Yeah. Yeah, my son's still he's a engineer / basketball player. He can't decide, but no, it's just fun. I love having them. I love having them in here, and I love that they take an interest in whatever we're doing in here. You know what I mean? It's because they could not care at all, which would probably hurt my heart a little bit.
Yeah.
So do you intentionally, let me quick ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you intentionally try to keep your kids off your Instagram, or do you, because I can't remember.
I'll show them a video from it, but I don't let them go on Instagram.
No. I mean, you
posting with them.
Posting with them. How do you feel about that?
I'm okay with it, honestly. I don't mind sharing them on there. I don't do a ton. I've actually been told I should share them more because people the internet loves twins. Shar told me that from Wooden Maven.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. She said that you should be definitely showing the twins.
It's not the first time I've heard that, but I actually, my son Easton really wants to do his own YouTube TV show, and I think we're gonna do it. You are? I think if I can quit my job, we may do it. And I've got a few ideas of what we could do. And I have to like wait for permission. I've emailed the publisher about something. I don't want to give it away.
Of course you did, because you're a freaking rock star, dude. You're so inspiring. Anyways, go on.
Well, thank you. I want permission to like, if I'm going to use somebody's materials to do a YouTube video on it, I want to make sure I've asked the right people permissions. I don't want
Oh,
to have to deal with that later.
oh no, definitely
But-
get all your ducks in a row before
Yeah.
you do it.
Yeah, 'cause he wanted to do a dinosaur show at first, but now he's losing interest in dinosaurs and it's turning to all animals. So I'm like,
Dude, that'd be awesome.
yeah. So maybe drawing some animals on YouTube.
Yeah, I was gonna say drawing, painting, like
Yep.
you carving
Yep.
animals for him to paint and stuff like that. Like,
Well, I was
I could
thinking maybe they can do a drawing and I could do a carving.
oh, see, that would be huge. Yeah, because yeah, that's a great idea. They paint something
Mhm.
and then you turn around and carve it and bring it to life.
Yeah. Yep.
That would be fucking cool. That
Yep.
would be cool.
You know what I wanted to say earlier when you were talking about how privileged our kids are having parents with all these tools and stuff?
Uh-huh.
Mine are so spoiled that they just expect me to make them art whenever they come up with an idea. Like
Mhm.
I made the Toy Story Jessie for them. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
like Chase got Jessie and Easton got a dinosaur. So then like literally as I hand it to him, they're like, great, I want a Jasmine. And he's like, and I want a shark mouth. And I'm like, and now they're getting into Pokemon thanks to Lee.
Oh, yeah.
And and now
Fucking
they
Lee.
want all the Pokemons and there's like 150 Pokemon. I'm like, I'm not going there. I'm not
Well,
going
no,
there.
what you need to do is you need to find a program, a CNC program that has all the little Pokemons
And just
that
let
you
it
can just
go.
lay and just have them carve out all the little Pokemons for you.
I'll do it on the laser. Make it real quick.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah. No, I mean, dude, it's crazy. Yeah. I mean, our kids are the same way. It's dad, can you make me this? Can you make me that? Can you make and it's I had my first moment though last night. I told Debbie in a long time because that Penny has this project that she has to make a recycled something, right? Out of recycled
Yeah.
material. She has to make something, right? And so she
Mhm.
wanted to make a car and we had soup cans and we had this and that. And I was like, sure, let me cut these soup cans and we'll make wheels out of them. And I walk into the garage last night and I go, how am I going to cut this metal? I just realized I don't have anything to cut metal in my wood shop. That's like it was so frustrating because normally that's not the case anymore. Like I
Right.
have, I went a little crazy. Debbie tells me I'm a little insane that like my shop in the 2 years that I've been woodworking, like I pretty much have like
Every tool.
any tool that you can need to do pretty much whatever you need to do. You know what I mean? Like I don't have
Do you-
certain things. I don't have a
Okay.
CNC. I don't have, but like I got the band saws and the drill presses and the joiners and the table saws and the planers and the all that shit, right? So Debbie's like every time I bring
You
up,
make a lot of boards though. Like you make a lot of cutting boards in the Christmas seasons.
dude, yes.
So you kind of need all those tools.
No, I know.
Debbie.
Yeah. Thanks, Tiff. Have my back. I'm trying to score. I have my eye on some tools that it's like I'm so close to getting them. Like it's just like
Okay,
trying
now
to.
I'm on her side. Control yourself.
No, dude, it's
What
I
are you
can't.
staring at? What are you staring at?
I have a new table saw in sight and a new router table in sight and just some other tools and it's like
I want a router table.
yeah, it's a ridiculous deal. It's like a stupid deal. Like it's a deal that like if I was to tell people how much this lady who is just trying to dump these tools wants for them, they would like be like, hey, what's her number? Let me call her.
So
You're-
tomorrow's Instagram story is going to be you picking up these tools.
Dude, I want to. It's funny you mentioned that because tomorrow's my birthday, so you could.
Oh, happy
know,
birthday.
Thank you. I told Debbie I was like, you could easily just make this happen.
Yeah.
Make it a
Dude,
wonderful day.
Does she just get like a list of things sent to her all the time from like Marketplace or wherever you might find them?
No, I don't. I've learned a long time ago. It's better to just
Apologize later.
apologize later. No, she's actually been awesome, dude. I wouldn't have most of the tools I have without her support, obviously.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just funny, because I'll be just like, I need, and as soon as I start saying I need, she just goes, stop it. You don't make enough stuff already as it is for us to buy more tools. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So are you full time with doing the broadcasting stuff on the side or?
I'm as full-time as you can go without
Being
being
full-time.
full-time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm home with the kids every day, Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends, like I work a lot of weekends with this gig because that's when a lot of the sporting events happen and stuff like that.
That's okay. You're with the family during the week.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like half the month. I'd say like in my most busy season, I'm working maybe 15 days a month with my other gig. You know what I mean? And then the rest of the days I'm home doing whatever I'm doing here. You know what I mean? So, which is, still watching two little kids and, still having to go drop them off, pick them up, and, do all the other bullshit that goes along with, running a family.
It's not easy. But just.
Oh, who let this guy in here?
Whoa.
What the hell's going on here?
Who's this dude in a flower hat?
This guy.
Hey, ladies. What's that?
Is this Luke Gelman that you were talking about earlier?
Oh, this guy, dude. Trouble has entered the building, everybody.
Dude, I heard that you were getting to be a guest on a podcast, and I was like, no way that's happening without me. So, like, no way Ben gets to be on his own, like where he's just a guest.
Hey,
and like,
see, it's still official. I've never been my own guest on a podcast. My record.
What are you talking about? This is my co-host, Luke.
Oh,
yeah.
He's just a little late. He had dinner with the family. That's all.
Exactly.
Oh, dude! I knew you were going to start another podcast. I got you hooked on them, dude. You're going to.
Dude, I'm addicted to cat podcasts now, man. I've got 6 more in the works.
No, I'm going to have rotating guests on my podcast. So I want rotating guest hosts occasionally to come in and have fun and join the conversation. But
Dude,
it's going to be a fun one where we get to have a bunch of different makers and hangouts.
Are you done adjusting, dude? I felt like I was in the Blair Witch movie right now.
A little preparation would help.
Tiffany gave me like a couple hours to prepare.
I gave him no time.
Like, I got 5 minutes to do this. I'm ready. Okay. So what questions have we asked Ben, Tiffany?
We didn't find out really much about young Ben. Like, what was he doing before he went to school for, broadcasting? Like, what was that?
Yeah. Ben,
so,
what were you up to?
High school, and then out of high school. Let's just say, so from 17, that I graduated like right before I turned 18, and I went to work right out of high school because my parents moved out of state. They left and went to Texas, and I stayed in California. And so awesome. I was on my own, living in California. I got a job at Disneyland. I was working. Yeah.
Were you Mickey Mouse?
No. I was too tall. I was too tall for Mickey. They wouldn't give it to me. Yeah. And then I worked at Disneyland for about 3 years, and that was like college for me, basically. That was when I had all the crazy, made lifelong friends and had the crazy experiences and drank way too much and, partied way too much. And so that was that. And then after I worked at Disneyland, I went into the Navy and I did that and had an experience.
All this stuff we missed. I'm not a very good podcast host.
Yeah, it's all good. You talked about the important stuff. You know what I mean? This stuff's not important.
So you were in the Navy, huh?
Yeah, I did a stint in the Navy. Yeah, I was not a seaman.
I'm so glad seaman was said on the first episode, though. That's great. That's great.
Well, look, Tiffany, you didn't even respond to me when I asked you the question, what I wanted to lead with.
Oh, I just, I was being a non-rude podcast host and not looking at my phone. But yeah, you can say that. You can say that, please.
Oh, no. I was going to lead with, I'm here for the gangbang.
Which is one of the best lines in Old School.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I'm here for the gangbang. What the fuck?
Dude.
I got a question for Ben.
Yeah.
Can I ask questions too?
Well, yeah, that's what co-hosts do.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Okay, so I didn't know. I don't know. Like, this isn't my podcast or Ben and my podcast. I don't know how this works. But okay. And this is your first episode, so I haven't even listened to your podcast yet. So, all right. But I got a question for Ben. So, Ben, tomorrow is your birthday, right?
It is.
Tell us, Tiffany and I, what you are hoping happens dessert-wise for your birthday.
Oh,
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I know.
I'm assuming this is what I'm assuming is going to happen, which is funny because we already talked about it today on Clubhouse. I'm assuming we're going to end up with an ice cream cake, and it's most likely going to be chocolate with chocolate frosting, and the ice cream of choice will most likely be mint chip. So that's probably
the mint chip conversation from today.
Yes, the mint chip conversation. That was the mint chip debacle of 2022 earlier. Everybody was on board except for one person, and that was Patsy. And that was just like, I thought it was like a slam dunk. I was like, mint chip. Everybody loves mint chip. Who doesn't love mint chip?
My husband thinks it's disgusting. So
oh my God.
I know.
For shame.
Yeah. So that's what I'm guessing happens for my birthday. That's what I'm guessing.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it was a chocolate cake either, just straight up chocolate with chocolate frosting, because I often request that as well, because I'm just a chocolate guy. That's just me.
We're gonna have to have him back on the show just to follow up on this important cliffhanger that he's leaving here.
I mean, I need to know what happens. I mean, I'll be honest.
Luke's not like, text me if you get some action on your birthday. He's like, text me what kind of cake you had.
Hey, Tiff, you know what gets me off, so.
Cake and ice cream.
Oh, dude.
I have this whole philosophy too about, like, have you ever read like the dessert section of a menu sensually, right? Because they're always written really sexually, right?
Lemon meringue pie.
Ooh.
Melted chocolate on top of layers of luscious cake. It's like, yes.
Luke, can you just have a reel where you're just reading the menu? Like the dessert menu. Like, that's just the reel.
Yeah.
I'll join you. That could be one of our collaborations.
Oh, dude, you two reading a menu would be just fucking classic, dude. Oh my God.
Maybe that's what I'll use the Jointery account for. We aren't usually using it yet for anything, so
yeah. We should probably do that.
Just be essentially reading dessert options.
Oh, dude, how did we end up taking food into this podcast?
I feel like I just joined the Jointery Podcast, to be honest. I feel like I'm the guest all of a sudden. And
You are our first guest.
I'm okay with it. So many firsts tonight.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
How many cherries were popped? Whoa!
I was going to say that like a virgin.
I got another question for Ben, since we're still interviewing.
Yes, we're still interviewing him.
Okay.
He was the guest. So, Ben, what was your first woodworking piece that you ever tried to make?
We covered that. I did.
Sorry.
No, we did.
What was the second one? What was the follow-up?
No. Here, let's refine the question. What's the first thing that you made that made you extremely proud? Like, you couldn't believe it. Like, you just kept staring at it.
Oh, it's a good one. What's funny is, like, even though you totally shit on my mallet earlier, Tiffany, the first thing I was super proud. The first thing I was super proud of was because it wasn't just a cutting board. You know what I mean? Like, I had made cutting boards, and I was really proud of the cutting boards that I was making. Don't get me wrong. Like, I thought they were awesome and beautiful, but there's not a whole lot of technique. I mean, I'm not trying to downplay making cutting boards, because making cutting boards takes a lot to do into.
Wouldn't you get shitted on for making cutting boards when you were our guest host?
Yeah, I was.
On Behind the Maker podcast.
Yes, I was. Bliss was like, it's just fucking cutting boards. I mean, who can't make a fucking cutting board?
And here you go now.
No, I know. It's just
shitting on other people.
No. It takes a lot of, discipline and work and effort to make a cutting board and make them good.
does.
But
It's a skill.
technique wise, making this mallet had a lot more techniques in it. There was a lot more to it. You know what I mean? Like it was there was no glue in it. It was just made, with like old school joinery, wedges and tenon. And, so I was like, when I put it together and it was solid and it was together and I fucking could hit shit with it and it didn't come apart. It didn't break.
You could hit shit with it.
I could hit shit with it, right? And it didn't break. Like that's when I felt like, wow, dude, I'm fucking kind of like a woodworker. You know what I mean? Like I'm actually, I can make some shit. That's like, pretty cool. So
that could be the name of this podcast: Hitting Shit with Ben.
I was actually on that same wavelength, like thinking I could take that quote and be like his episode cover for it.
I was hitting shit. Yeah.
I was just I could hit shit.
I could hit shit. Oh my God. People are going to think I'm a fucking idiot. I swear to God. Dude,
like by association alone, bro. Like you had this really sweet rep and then you decided to team up with me on a podcast. Bad idea, bro. That's where it all fell apart.
No,
he was
dude.
Trying to get one of us and he got you good.
He fucking nailed it.
Yes.
He's like,
karate moves.
Who's just stupid enough to team up with me?
Yep.
That Ben guy makes some good shit, but he's just. I think I can get him. I
am the bear trap of the woodworking community. So.
No, dude. It was the moment I saw the Pagines, bro. I knew we were meant to be together, bro. I swear to God. I was like, this guy is cut from the same cloth as me. I swear to God. It was
Luke, we have time for one more question. So I want you to get it. What do you want to ask?
Okay, Ben. Let's go blast from the past. Did you ever go to prom? And if you did go to prom, tell us about your prom experience.
I went to prom. Yes, I did. I went to my junior prom, and it was with a girl that I went to church with. We were friends.
Ooh.
We were friends, and I dated her, but I dated her sister prior to. So it was a weird, it was weird.
That's supposed to happen.
No,
this is exactly how it goes down.
When I was a sophomore, I dated her sister, who was a freshman. She was a year younger than her older sister, Michelle, who I ended up going to the prom with my junior year. And we were just friends. But at the end of the night, your boy got the kiss, even though, it was just the kiss. You know what I mean?
How have you not been a guest on a podcast before right now? That's all I need to know.
I don't know, bro. Because I got stories for days, man. I got some crazy shit to talk about. Someday we'll get to that on our podcast, Luke.
Yeah, or a podcast.
It
doesn't have to be our podcast. We can be wherever.
Oh Jesus, this was so much fun, dude. So much fun. Oh, dude, I had a blast, man. I could talk to you guys for hours. In fact, Luke, when we're done with this, I'll call you. Continue.
We can just talk until the other show we're doing later, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. In the shop live tonight. Be there. Oh wait, this was coming out some other time, but
in the shop live.
I do this thing.
Well, let's talk about in the shop if you want to stay on for a second because
I don't start until 6, so we got a half hour.
All right.
I do a thing called In the Shop Live on Thursdays on Instagram. It started last February, so it's just over a year ago we started doing it. And we've interviewed, it's myself, Raymond Rossiter from Rossiter Designs, Luke, not Luke, he's gonna be there tonight, but Lucas from Man-Made in MA. Man-Made in MA, and then Dre from Crafts with Dre, and we have been doing this thing now, like I said, for a year, and it's been awesome, man. We talk to different makers every week, and interview them and get to know them, and kind of like what you guys were doing, but on a live show, and you kind of never know what's going to happen, which is pretty awesome.
It's
and
cool because people are usually in their shops too, like when they're on, aren't they?
Exactly. So it's us in our shops, them in their shop, and we get shop tours sometimes. We
Who was the most exciting guest you think you've interviewed on that show so far, besides me? And I don't know if Tiffany's been on there.
Tiffany's been on. Yeah, we've had both of you guys
on. I assume she has.
Dude, we had Izzy on, which was awesome. Izzy was great. He was Izzy Swan. He was awesome to talk to. I think one of the most exciting, funny guests or things we had on was Roy from Vintage Axe Works.
I feeling you were gonna say Roy,
I believe he dropped 97 fucks on the show, which was something to tally up, which was fun.
Impressive.
Dude, we've had so many. We've talked to fucking everybody, dude. I mean, it's 52 people over the last year. That's a lot of people, a lot of shows to try and remember. But yeah, Izzy, Roy,
it's hard.
You guys were great. We had on Will Stelter. He's a young blacksmith who's awesome. Annette was awesome. From 513 Woodworks.
I'll say 513.
Dude, just so many people. I mean, just this community is full of just super fucking talented, amazing people, and we are lucky enough to talk to somebody every week, and have never had a week where we couldn't find somebody, which is awesome, right? You know what I mean? Like, we're amazed that anybody wants to be there on a Thursday night at 6 p.m. right in the middle of dinner, or 9 p.m. on the on the East Coast, which is bedtime. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that anybody wants to be there and hang out with us on a Thursday, and we consistently have 30, 40 people hanging out with us, sometimes even more.
I try to catch them when I can. It's great.
Yeah,
I like hanging out.
Yeah, and it's just fun, dude. It's just so much fun. You know what I mean? Like, and we get to do something that's like, we get to get our fix. You know what I mean? We get to get out there and talk to people, and it's what I love to do. So
you get to hang out like you're a kid again. Like, how when you're young, you used to get like so many experiences to do that and just like chill and talk with people. But as you get older, it's like less and less and less. And these digital hangouts, as lame as it sounds when you say digital hangouts, they're amazing. They're everything.
Dude, it's. Go ahead, Luke.
I don't think digital hangouts.
Digital hangout.
It's great. I took my pants off about a minute ago, and like, you guys don't know. So
he's digitally hanging out right now.
I'm virtually hanging out. This is great.
No, but yeah, it's a ton of fun, and the people I do it with are great, and we we look forward to doing it for a long time coming, so it's fun.
I'll make sure I'll tag everybody. I'm gonna get better about that. I was not great at that with Behind the Maker podcast.
There's so much, dude. I wanted to talk to you about, dude. This 1 hour went by so fast, dude, because I had so many things I wanted to talk to you about, just all that, the details, the little things.
Like Luke disappeared to go take off his shirt.
He's like fucking gone. Like all the shit that goes with making a podcast, and all that shit. Like, I would love to talk about that stuff sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's end this here and say goodnight to everybody.
Yep.
Good night, everybody.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that episode. Let me just tell you that the party has not ended yet, because it actually just started heating up. I hung out with Luke and Debbie, Ben's wife, for about 15 minutes or so, and we recorded some of the most ridiculous things. So if you're curious and you're hot for hardwood, I think you should go sign up for Patreon now, because Patreon this time around is gonna be lit. I don't usually say that, but it is. It's gonna be lit. So get yourselves over there, patreon.com/makerconversations, and sign up now. And let me give you some ways to save some money. You looking for wall control? Night Carver saves you 10%. Sabertooth, want to carve? Night Carver 10 saves you 10%. And if you're looking to grab some new bits, head on over to my page. I've got a Tools Today link. It won't save you any money, but it will give me a little bit of a kickback, and every little cent helps get me one step closer to quitting that day job. So thank you again. I really appreciate it. We have a treat coming up for you next, made by Mary Lou, my homegirl. She is going to be on. And then we have Dave from 3D, oh boy, printing, 3D_DIY. There it is. He's, it's challenging, Dave. It's challenging, but we're going to get there. He's on next, and it's going to be great. So keep this party going. Let's have fun. Stay alive in the chats on the Instagram. Please, let's have a good time together, because I'm all about building this maker community stronger, and I can't wait to hang out more. So peace out for now. I think my kids are getting a little rambunctious, and I got to go hang out. Have a great one.